Jakub Kashuba, undefeated so far in his mixed martial arts career. Came in as a relative unknown to the PFL Europe season in 2023, but his physicality, his size, his incredible cardio really just carried him through some tough matchups. Survived Radu Maxim, battled it out with Dylan Tuke, had to reverse the momentum in that fight. And then at the PFL European Championship, knees and punches a second round TKO over John Mitchell. 3 5-minute rounds between Jakub Kashuba and Kane Musa, who did not shy away from this. As a veteran of the game, he knows exactly what he's up against. He knows he's the smaller fighter here. Kane Musa knows that Jakub Kashuba is undefeated and is the guy to beat because he won the belt last year. He said, that's exactly what I want.
I mean, Kane Musa was sitting at the side of the smart cage in Dublin. As soon as Kashuba had the belt around his waist, I looked over at Kane Musa and he was doing that sinister rubbing together of the hands that he does. We're going to see it tonight as well. Kane Musa is a veteran, he's a dangerous fighter, and he's fresh, even though he's a little bit older in his career. He's been training for a long time, but he's a smart individual. The one danger with Kane Musa, danger being his nickname, is that he can get drawn in sometimes. If he sniffs the victory, he feels that blood in the water and he chases for it. And we know from Jakub Kashuba's last fight, you just can't do that. He can come through and weather an early storm and stick it on you in the second round and steal that belt from underneath you.
As we welcome in our YouTube audience again, look, this is PFL Europe regular season action. Last year's champion, Jakub Kashuba, Kane Musa, an absolute veteran, explosive power, incredible athleticism, all trying to build toward a $100,000 championship at the end of this year as we create the model, the Champions League model of mixed martial arts. You take the regions, crown champions in those regions. Europe, proof of concept last year. Obviously, Middle East, North Africa is launching this year. The champions there will eventually build toward our global roster where they can make themselves into millionaires and potentially legends like Stefan Struve, Dan Hardy. I'm Sean O'Connell. Look at this. In the building now here at a sold-out Accor Arena, Baki Shamsudanov, Baisengor, the 22-year-old undefeated prospect, Chechnyan descent, proud representative of France now, and a guy who's looking to spoil the Cedric Doumbé party in the main event.
Introducing first, in the blue corner, Kane Musa.
Really, it's appropriate that we see Kane Musa here in PFL Europe. He's fought all over Europe. He's fought for 15 years, which means he came up in some of the promotions in Europe that really laid the foundation but are now extinct. He's been everywhere. He's fought really high-level guys, but he's never really broken through in a way that PFL Europe Championship would allow him to. Kane Musa calls himself the Danger. His coaches call him the Danger because he's dangerous as hell.
And his goal is to make his opponent call him the Danger. Here he is at the side of the smart cage right now. And you can tell how much he enjoys this moment. Look at this. This is his moment. In Kane Musa's mind, this is his year. He has to make a big impact in his MMA career this year. And I think he feels like at 14-5, this is the moment that he's gonna really show people what he's capable of.
We're gonna show you how old he is at the tail of the tape, but I told you already he's a 15-year veteran. Do the math on that. He's been fighting since he was 16 years old.
And I'm sure he had a few more before then as well.
And in the red corner, Jakub Kashuba.
One thing you're gonna see when these two square off inside the smart cage is a significant size disparity. Jakub Kasuba is a massive lightweight. I spoke with him at the hotel. He said, end of January, I hopped on the scale and I was 195 pounds. Oh, you let yourself get a little soft in the offseason? He said, no, I still had a six-pack, but I was 195 pounds. He weighed in at the limit of 155 pounds, and that means tonight, as he climbs in with rehydration, he could be walking right now anywhere from 170 to 190 pounds.
And he's lean, he's shredded, he's confident, and the thing that's scary about him, even in the face-offs the other night at the Eiffel Tower, they stared in each other's eyes. Kane Moosah's got an intensity, and Jakub Kasuba's got this kind of awkward smile on his face, like, this is kind of unique. He's a very interesting and unusual character, the Auditor as his nickname. But when he steps in here, the other side of this same coin, he's a lethal, dangerous man. He can take you back and squeeze the life out of you. He can put punches together with ferocity and power. But does he want to do that tonight with Kane Moosah? Wrestling and grappling and using that physical, imposing prowess might be the right thing to do tonight.
Here's a look at our tail of the tape for this regular season bout. Jakub Kasuba, 28 years old. Kane Moosah is 31. Kasuba, 5 feet 11 inches tall. Kane Moosah is 5'9". The reach advantage of 4 inches belongs to Jakub Kasuba on the arms. Both men with a 40-inch measurement on the legs.
All right, so keys to victory for these two phenomenal fighters. Of course, Jakub Kasuba's got to expect that early pressure, and if he can strike in the clinch and even get in top position, that's where that physical size is going to be problematic for Kane. On Moosah's side, he's got to attack that lead leg, take away the movement, uppercuts and knees, anticipating the level change, and then smart footwork and smart composure as well, not getting drawn into a brawl when he doesn't need to.
Andy Shepard, the voice of the Smart Cage.
The following fight is a PFL Europe regular season contest in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a striking specialist and stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 155.9 pounds, and in his 19-fight career has earned a record of 14 victories and 5 defeats. Fighting out of Manchester, England, Kane the Danger Moosah! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a kickboxing specialist and stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 154.9 pounds and holds a perfect professional record of 11 wins and no losses. Fighting out of Olsztyn, Poland, he is the 2023 PFL Europe Lightweight Champion, the Auditor, Jakub Kasuba! Your referee and judge, Laura Poira.
Kasuba in the black trunks, Moosah in the blue.
You know what's even scary about Kasuba? That size doesn't affect him. His cardio is insanely good.
Yeah, he carries it incredibly well as he moves in behind a jab and a high kick to follow. Same side. Both of those were lefts.
For Moosah, though, being the smaller fighter doesn't have to be a disadvantage against someone as physically strong as Kasuba. You don't want to make it a physical battle. You want to move around him. Being smaller, being lighter, especially with the footwork Moosah has, it could be an advantage.
And this is the smart footwork we've been seeing from Kane Moosah here early, getting out of range when he needs to.
Beautiful. Now you'll see him try to play the speed and footwork game for this entire fight. And of course, Jakub Kasuba will try to press him, potentially take him down, freeze those feet where he can use this, his strength. Nice timing. Good balance so far by Moosah, though.
This is where the size comes in advantage for Kasuba.
And this is the first time Kane Moosah's got to feel the strength of Jakub Kasuba as well.
He's looking for a high crotch. Seems good defense by Moosah there, but I was gonna say Katsuba had him down, but beautiful way to get back up by Musa.
Anytime Kane can be winning these grappling exchanges, scrambling back to his feet, he's going to be discouraging Jakub Kasuba, potentially even draining the gas tank if he had a big weight cut. This Kane Musa is going to now try and break and start to strike, but that's lovely work from Kasuba on the inside there. And you see now he's triggered Kane Musa to fight. That's dangerous because this is where Kane Musa can rush into those takedowns of Kasuba.
A right and left from Kasuba, that 2-1. Another level change and an uppercut on the exit. Kasuba looking for his openings as Kane moves around.
Really good job from Musa so far, being patient, moving out of the way every single time. Katsuba tries to close the distance.
And this, for me, is the fight that Kasuba needs in his MMA career, not his PFL career. Last year, he beat a lot of really tough prospects.
Goes to the back.
He won the European title. If he beats a veteran here, that's a big statement. And this is a strong tight waist that he's got on Kane Musa.
Shots there. Puts a lot of weight on Musa here. Makes him work, tires him out.
Musa's gonna have to be careful as he tries to work himself back upright with Kasuba on his back.
Good hand fighting here from Kane Musa. Biding his time, but he's got to be very cautious that Kasuba doesn't switch his attack here. Front headlock potentially, level change onto the legs.
Katsuba so incredibly strong.
Kasuba there with that cheese grater drag across the fence. Now trying to work all the way around to the back, goes chest to chest instead.
Nice job by Musa to get back to the 50-50 position here.
Driving knee on the inside from Jakub Kasuba.
Well, look, we've got the physicality of Kasuba and the experience of Kane Musa, trying to be efficient. He's going to break the clinch here, I think, and he's going to try and strike, but Kasuba's not going to let him get away for free.
Heavy, tight overhook on that right arm of Kane Musa. Jakub Kasuba, though, head in the wrong position right now.
And again, as we said earlier on, being a smaller fighter in this position against the fence pays off usually because it's easier to get your head in the right position.
Oh, they were good strikes.
Nice flurry and a finish with 2 uppercuts. Jakub Kasuba showing the versatility in his game here.
And
a good level change again. Wow, he drops straight down and then begins the drive.
Great timing on those shots.
Tucked that leg between his own knees and pulls Kane Musa to the mat, and now climbing into a mount position. Jakub Kasuba, 42 seconds left in this first round.
Katsuba looking for the wrist right. Now you can put Musa on the mat, but good defense again by Musa. He's gonna get back up.
And we go back to Jakub Kasuba's first regular season win last year with that beautiful submission over Radu Maxim. He's constantly trying to expose the back of Kane Musa. Musa's wise to it, but he's losing this round on the grappling in my eyes right now.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1, an exchange of knees.
Really good job by Musa in his first round defending against Katsuba, but Katsuba really had him spend a lot of energy.
To the stools they go. Kane Musa hangs his arms on the cage. Jakub Kasuba heads back to the stool as we look at these replays.
Look at the timing on this level change. And this is where Kane Musa, he comes in with these big power shots, and before he knows it, Jakub Kasuba's just disappeared from in front of him, and now he's defending takedowns, which he was doing for the vast majority of that first round. That's got a cardiovascular tact to it.
The VIPs have started to trickle in here at the Acor. French rapper Black M.
I'll slow down on the instruction. I've only shouting to you there, yeah? But just so you know, but when it's going every time, more shots, okay? Look for more shots.
Sean O'Connell, Stefan Struve, Dan Hardy. PFL Europe, Paris. Driving towards the main event Cedric Doumbé climbs back into the smart cage against Baki Shamsudanov. Right now, Jakub Kashuba, last year's European champion in the lightweight division, in the black trunks against Kane Musa in the blue.
Bit of a lower stance here from Kane Musa. A la Cedric Doumbé, Jordan Zebo crouched down to try and meet that level change. Kasuba very fresh in the corner between rounds. Eyes wide open, breathing calm, listening to his corner team, and he moves forward here.
Inside leg kick, and Kashuba tries to use that. This time, Kane does not allow him to get all the way in on the hips.
Musa trying to break again, but there he lands. Nice right hand.
Now he's got Kashuba moving backwards. That might have hurt a little bit more than the initial thought.
I certainly think the grappling that Kane Musa had to deal with in that first round has filled his arms with lactate, and you can tell he's a little bit more labored in his movement now with his arms. Better work here with his takedown defense.
Back to an orthodox stance after a brief change to southpaw for Kane Musa.
Barely missed with a right hand. Uppercut by Katsuba there.
Looks like we have a cut above the eye of Jakub Kasuba as well. Deep breaths for Kane Musa, and some swelling around his eye as well, Kane Musa.
A good second round from Musa so far. I want to see him throw more of these leg kicks. Feign and then throw the kick.
Uppercut landed there for Musa. Doing a much better job of negating that forward motion in those level changes. Now Kasuba offers a kick, blocked by the shoulder.
Good coaching from the corner of Musa. Don't overdo it, they shouted. They know that rush forward is dangerous. Kasuba will level change.
Kasuba really struggling this second round to get a hold of Musa.
Now Kasuba marches Kane Musa back right in front of our broadcast position, halfway through round number 2. But Musa reverses position, puts himself toward the cage, toward the center of the cage.
He really uses, being smaller in that position. He puts his head under the chin of Katsuba, turns him around and takes center of the stage again, and now he's back to striking distance.
Oh.
Shots, beautiful body shot by Katsuba.
They were solid body shots by Kasuba.
I think that he felt the effect of the body shots from Kane Musa, and it might have reminded him, hey, I've got some of those too,
Yeah.
offered some back.
Remember, he won the season last year. He won the finale with a body shot.
And now Musa with the level change, drives
Yes.
it.
Great balance from Kasuba though. Hops over to the fence. He's got his overhook and he's landed a few short shots on the inside which allowed him to dig an underhook. And now he turns.
You see Musa trying to pummel in, get his arm up above that shoulder, but it's tall Jakub Kasuba.
There he goes again.
Nice knee on the inside.
Position,
Good
great.
uppercut, and more body shots from Musa. Both fighters digging to the body in the second round.
Great shots by Musa there.
Tell you what, those exchanges on the breaks have been furious. Both guys have landed here in the round number 2.
Good knee there by Katsuba. And another one.
Final minute of round 2.
Kasuba slowing down a little bit in this round. Is he a little bit discouraged? Did that shot to the body hurt him maybe? They were nice shots on the inside.
They'll hurt for sure. They'll take the wind out of your sail.
Look at this.
Especially when you're already tired. Beautiful level change. Turns it around.
That right there is evidence of how and why Jakub Kasuba was able to take home the European Championship last year. The timing and the execution of that shot, nearly perfect. Putting Musa once again on the defensive, stymieing any offensive output late in this round, potentially stealing a very close round.
Great job again, though, by Musa to get back up. His defense after the takedown is excellent so far.
Interesting round to score this one.
I'd like to check in with Big John McCarthy, who I know is watching with great interest. Perhaps we can get him between rounds. Heavy breaths from both fighters heading back to the stool as we head to the third frame.
Hey, jab high, underneath right uppercut. He's leaning into you every time. Every time you punch, he's putting his head down. Come underneath and stay tight. And then walk out with the 3. Boom, walk away with the 3. It worked, all right? The first half of that round. How's your legs? Your legs all right? Hit his leg one time for him.
The Lazy King is in the building. Abdul Abduragimov, one half of our co-main event tonight.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Round 3 set to begin here in Paris, France. Sean O'Connell, Stephen Struve, Dan Hardy on the call. Big John McCarthy potentially set to join us here. Jakub Kashuba, Kane Musa. Kashuba in the black, Musa in the blue. Very close. Round number 2, Big John. How do we score this fight through 2 frames?
You know, it is very close. If Kane Musa did a lot of good body work in that second round, he might have stolen that round with those body shots that the judges were seeing. But the big thing with Musa that he needs to stop doing, he needs to not go after the big shot. He's got power, and all he's got to do is touch, 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 and that'll lead him into the shot that'll do damage. But right now, this could be anyone's fight in this third round.
Thank you, Big John. A couple of nice left hands from the southpaw stance by Kane Musa. Now he switches back to orthodox, goes overhand right, back to southpaw, giving different looks to Jakub Kashuba, potentially trying to confuse a level change attempt. Nasty inside work here from Kashuba, who presses Musa into the cage.
Every single time Katsuba's got a hold of Musa, though, he does a really good job controlling the arms so that Katsuba can lock his hands so that he cannot finish the takedowns. He could finish it here. I think he's got his hands locked now. Single leg. Great defense again from Kane Musa. This is what is winning Musa these exchanges. In the clinch, he turns Katsuba around, takes center of the cage again. He lands, and he's back to where he wants to be.
Clash of heads there on the inside work, and this time it's Kane Musa who rushes forward, plants Jakub Kashuba's back on the smart cage barrier. More body work from Musa. And a reversal of position here from Kashuba, the 2023 lightweight champion of PFL Europe.
Chasing the takedown yet again, but again, good defense from Musa. Trying to go to the back, now he can lock his hands.
Good defense.
Musa reached in between the legs of Kashuba there, thought about the switch. Kashuba just pressed in to negate it. Now onto the back goes Kashuba.
And now he's got him off the fence. See if he can do more with this now. Especially in this third round, these positions take so much energy and your body is screaming for oxygen. Good knee there by Katsuba.
It was going to take someone like Kane Musa to really push Jakub Kashuba with his experience. Those body shots still thundering in. 2 minutes left here. Very grinding, tough fight. Arm strikes in favor of Musa, leg strikes in favor of Jakub Kashuba. Of course, takedowns in favor of Kashuba, which leaves him with the ground strikes advantage as well.
Good uppercut and left hook by Katsuba there on the break.
Now double underhooks and a body lock. Kashuba expending some energy here, trying to get Kane Musa back down to the mat. Kashuba will try to pull Musa back over his own planted right leg.
Good job by Musa pressing down on the hands of Katsuba. That way he's not able to lift him, makes it very difficult for him to finish a takedown. He's got him down, but not completely, not on his back. Takes the back though.
Kashuba just grinding out this third round. Spiral ride temporarily there. Kane Musa not capitulating, not giving up any of these positions easily.
He's got one of the legs of Kashuba.
Musa's got to be careful not to get his own arm pulled back.
They're calling for the scramble from the Musa corner, but that just allows Kashuba to circle and stay on his back. Heavy wrestling game from Jakub Kashuba, nullifying a lot of Kane Musa's offense.
Final 30 seconds here in the third round.
I'm happy I'm on commentary and not a judge in this fight because it's so close.
That's why we have some of the best judges in the world here, because we know these fights are going to be toughly contested between these two veterans like this. Good hustle by both of these fighters, really impressive pace.
Just a grinder of a fight in the lightweight division of PFL Europe. Last year's champion Jakub Kashuba and Kane Musa. Really high-level stuff. The fans
After 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 29-28. For your winner, by unanimous decision, Jakub Kashuba!
Impressive performance by the returning champion, looking to win a second title in 2024. He looks elated and a little relieved, I have to admit. And I think he's standing with Sean O'Connell. Let's see what the champ has to say.
Jakub Kashuba victorious here tonight in Paris. You won a PFL European Championship in 2023. You decided you wanted to try going back-to-back here in 2024. But a tough test in the first outing. Did that fight go the way you thought it was going to?
Vous êtes le champion sortant du lightweight en PFL Europe. Vous remettez votre couronne en jeu ce soir et c'était un premier test très dur.
What'd she say? Well, correction, I was put here, and I'm very happy to be here. If I could choose, I would probably do it again just because when I get ready for the Bellator, guys, right? And this was my first test, and I got another one, so welcome to the PFL Bellator. Yeah, this was a great test. I expected more out of myself, but win is a win. I did what I had to do. I'm gonna keep going. Za ojczyznę i za Boga. Idę do przodu, pracuję dalej i będę wygrywał. I'm coming again for that belt, so all the other 55ers be scared, because this guy was no joke.
Ouais, c'était un gros test pour commencer à défendre la ceinture. Bon, il y a eu un petit peu de polonais dedans, donc j'ai pas tout compris. Mais voilà, c'était ce qu'il voulait. Il veut montrer qu'il est le meilleur et il est reparti pour reconquérir une autre ceinture.
So the season is starting to take shape. This victory over Kane Musa sets up a playoff matchup against Daniela Skatidze. He won with a beautiful inside heel hook earlier tonight. What do you think of the matchup?
I'm excited. It's great, but like I said, the toughest guy is out of here, so I'm ready to take this guy. And but he seems like a cool kid, so I'm happy to shake his hand.
Il lui a demandé à propos de Daniela Skatidze qui s'est qualifié un petit peu plus tôt. Voilà, ça risque d'être votre prochain adversaire. Et voilà, a cool kid, un gamin sympa, et je prendrai n'importe lesquels, tous ceux qui viendront.
Still undefeated, Jakub Kaszuba. Congratulations.
All right, talking of Bellator, we've got some treats for you coming up. Look at this, May 17th. Happy birthday to me. What a card this is going to be to sit cage side 4. Nurmagomedov is back, taking on Shabali, and Patchy Mix against Magomedov. What a battle that is going to be back at the Accor. It's going to be another incredible event just like this one. Get your tickets as soon as you can, because they're going to go super quick like they did for this event.
We'll also be having a Dan Hardy birthday party at that Bellator card. PFL has a new apparel partner in our 2024 season, Takedown, and the gear is spectacular. Scan that QR code and shop now. Takedown, the official apparel partner of the Professional Fighters League. Another lightweight regular season matchup coming up next. Which of these two fighters will move on in our lightweight bracket? It's France versus Spain in a lightweight feature. And the Accor is full, sold out show. Highly anticipated return to the smart cage for Abdul Abdurragimov, the Lazy King. Same is true, of course, for Cedric Doumbé. But first, business to attend to in our regular season. Yazid Shoshon, Ignacio Capella.
Making their way to the PFL Europe cage in the blue corner, Ignacio Capella.
He's on a 7-fight win streak, and he is a finisher. 5 knockouts, 1 submission. Only one of his fights so far as a pro has gone to the judges' scorecards. Ignacio Capella here to prove himself on the PFL Europe stage.
This was a guy that I had to add in to this bracket as soon as I saw him fight. There's an intensity to this guy. There we go, there it is. We saw it at the weigh-ins yesterday. We saw it at the official weigh-ins in the morning, where he steps onto the scales, cuts his waistband off his underwear to step on the scales and make weight. The determination and fury in this guy, you can see it emanating from him.
And in the red corner, Yazid Shoshon.
The Former pro rugby player Yazid Shoshon. 10 pro victories. He's been all over the world. 4-1 in UAE Warriors representative. Any little hometown pop, he's from Avignon here in France. Strong grappling arts, judo background, a very physical fighter.
One of the fighters who was very impressive on the card last September had a really hard battle against a tricky fighter. But of course, Yazid Shoshon, he tucks up and he stands in the pocket and he throws bombs over the top. And we also saw strong grappling and ground and pound last September. Let's see what he has tonight against Ignacio Capella. This, for me, was a stylistic matchup that I just had to make. I know that this is going to ignite the fans. It's going to be a wild one from the get-go.
Yeah, I can really see what you did with this matchmaking, Dan. And like our man Sean O'Connell over here, both these guys don't have a reverse. So this is going to be fireworks, start to finish.
The best kind of fighters are like motorcycles, no reverse gear. Yazid Shoshon, Ignacio Capella, tail of the tape. Shoshon is 34, Capella is 31, both men 5 feet 7 inches tall. 2-inch reach advantage on the arms belonging to Shoshon, 2 inches in Capella's favor on the legs.
All right, let's take a look at the keys to victory. For Yazid Shoshon, punches in bunches, it's about volume. Disguise the level change when he can, and when he hits the ground, be busy with his ground and pound so he keeps his opponent on the back foot. For Capella, feint and move. Front kicks and knees might deter that level change, and if he does get into a grapple, he's got to win those scrambles and get back to his feet where he can start firing those hands again.
The voice of the Smart Cage, Andy Shepard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following fight is a lightweight contest in the PFL Europe regular season. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a boxing specialist and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 156 pounds and holds a record of 7 wins and 1 loss. 5 big victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Menorca, Spain, Ignacio Capella. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is a striking specialist and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 154.7 pounds, and his professional record consists of 10 victories and 4 defeats. Fighting out of Avignon, France, Yazid Shoshon. The referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Get him out. What are you doing? Out.
Mark Goddard to oversee this regular season action. Yazid Shoshon in the black, Ignacio Capella in the blue. Touch of the gloves and we are underway, rounding out our lightweight bracket.
Look at the size of these guys at lightweight. Both of them very powerful, and they love to wing powerful hooks as well in the pocket. I feel like when this ignites, it's going to go down.
Nice fast jab and a right hand from Yazid Shoshon. And there's those winging hooks. Both men offered a couple.
Looks to me already like Shoshon has a slight speed advantage. Oh!
Through the middle, nice job by Shoshon there.
Great movement.
Oh! Stiff jab by Capella.
And a right hand. He's got Shoshon on skates. Swinging away now. Ignacio Capella forces the level change.
This is what we expected. This is what we wanted.
Great reversal all the way through. Furious pace, and just like you said, Dan Hardy, when it starts, it's going to go up quickly.
And Capella is now going to try and get these arms free as soon as he can, because he needs to keep touching Yazid Shushan to keep him dazed and keep him hurt.
Well, talk about the recovery of Yazid Shushan, who went from stumbling around to executing a beautiful toss, but finds himself on the bottom position here.
Shushan needs to get his right leg back underneath him and work with the fence to get back up. But Capella's got a body lock, so that makes it difficult.
As I familiarize myself with the European mixed martial arts scene, I'm finding that
we've got to be watching out for these butterfly hooks. We can see them here. We can see the feet poking through here. He's going to try and elevate his opponent either way, try and create a scramble. You can see the overhook here as well. He's going to use that to control the base of his opponent. I expect Shushan to try and tip him over here with these butterfly hooks. Now you can see Capella has passed the knee line here. The knee line is passed. Beautiful work here by Shushan to get his knees back into play, though.
A little blood on the cheek of Yazid Shushan. Not sure where that's coming from. Maybe just a tiny cut.
There's a little swelling under the eye as well. No surprise, because both the guys were swinging.
Now Capella with the hooks again on the stand-up. Shushan circles out. Maybe on some unsteady legs here.
Just a little quicker to the target sometimes, Capella's now, and that, I don't think that's a speed thing. I think it's a trajectory thing. I think he's slightly tighter on the inside. Shushan gets a little bit loopy with his big punches.
Yeah, both guys had most success through the middle. When their opponent opened up with those big shots, there's the swing again.
The speed of Shushan, he looks like he's got his head clear now.
And Capella just throws caution to the wind every time he unleashes a hook. Very, very dangerous to do in this fight because of the speed we're seeing Shushan put on display.
We've got 90
nice
seconds.
They traded a jab for a hook there, and I'm not sure who got the better of it.
Shushan needs to keep that right hand on his chin when he's throwing his left hook. I showed him a Dan Hardy fight where I got knocked out, and I've paid for the same thing. Drop the hand because I'm swinging with power, and my opponent caught me clean on the chin. He's got to be very cautious. Those swiping punches from Capella have got mean intentions.
There's a driving takedown attempt here from Shushan. Good sprawl so far from Capella, who gets his hips all the way out.
Beautiful
now the
sprawl.
guard pull from Yazid Shushan with 1 minute left in round one.
I wonder if we'll see him go back to those butterfly hooks and maybe try and threaten a sweep here again, but he looks like he's clamping down on one of the arms of Capella. We might see him kick his hips out to the side and potentially attack one of these arms.
So good.
30 seconds left in this first round. Has it only been one round?
A lot of action packed into these first 4.5 minutes. Ignacio Capella on top of Yazid Shushan.
He's doing a good job with his head. Come on, guys, let's work. Controlling Shushan.
Final 10 seconds. Goddard thought of stepping in and separating, but he'll let him ride out the round. Yazid Shushan finishing on the bottom. Great fight so far as we head to round two.
Careful down there on the back of the head, buddy, okay?
Let me have a look at what happened here, because it was so chaotic. Shushan steps in with a big shot, but there's the left hand. Just cuffed him on the side of the head. He stays in the pocket for a moment, a little bit too long perhaps. I feel like he's got the speed advantage, but Capella is going to stand his ground and throw hard. My goodness, any of these shots could have landed. Shushan on the back foot here. Great awareness to be able to get that level change. He's got the overhook. He pulls his opponent into this beautiful hip throw here. Look at this. And that afforded him the time to clear his head and get his senses. Even though Capella swept to the top position, it gave Shushan that a bit of time just to get his head back into the fight. And it's not like he wasn't under pressure as he was getting back to his feet. Incredible composure and championship mentality from Yazid Shushan in that first round.
Excellent recovery from Shushan. Wobbled a couple of times. Ignacio Capella finishes the round on top, announcing his presence here in the first round of a PFL Europe regular season bout. Shushan pumping out this jab, giving Capella something to look at, then throws one for real. Nice low kick.
That was a fast jab and a hard low kick start the first round.
Offered one upstairs with the left. Lead leg came up right over the shoulder, barely blocked by Capella.
Capella's not moving well on that lead leg from that one individual low kick. You see how he's not progressing forward as well.
Caught him. Oh, and again.
Capella's got crazy power, and he's not even throwing with excellent technique right now.
Oh, there's the jab again.
That's how they trade. Shushan goes with the jab, Capella with the hook. And just like you said, Dan, Yazid Shushan's got to glue the right hand to his chin. Nice right kick from Yazid.
I like this. I like these kicks being stitched onto the end of his combinations.
Good jab there from Yazid Shushan. Nice
Big
right hand as well.
there.
Switch of the stance there from Capella. Does not like these leg attacks.
Oh, they're very powerful. He showed them the last time in Paris as well.
Big John McCarthy, how did you score round number 1? Little problem with Big John's audio. We'll get back to him in just a second here.
Oh,
nice
good
jab
jab
there
again
from
there.
Capella. Both of these guys having success when they throw right down the pipe. But it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Hooks are so fun.
He does a great job putting his body weight behind those jabs.
The jab from Shushan is very, very quick. Very quick.
Two minutes gone in round number 2.
Capella's definitely struggling to move on that lead leg. I think he's covering it well. He just doesn't seem to be able to have the same kind of... There, look, now he's switched his stance.
Shushan is really starting to mix up the strikes here. You saw him hunting for the body, working the jab. We've seen both legs go high with the kicks. Capella
Right hand
dangerous
again,
as
wobbled
ever,
him again. He's still wobbly.
Oh!
Uppercut knockout!
Ignacio Capella with the uppercut knockout!
Caught him coming in, but he heard him right before that.
What beautiful timing on that punch. Had Shushan backed up against the fence, anticipated that level change and scooped an uppercut onto it.
And the hostile territory, Ignacio Capella loves it as he waves the Spanish flag in Paris.
Shushan is still out. That was a brutal uppercut.
What timing?
Cageonomics stats bundle. You can see Yazid Shushan threw more, landed more. The power shots, though, belong to Ignacio Capella. Yazid Shushan was credited with the takedown, but Capella did finish round number 1 on top. Doesn't matter, don't have to go to the scorecards because Ignacio Capella with a beautifully timed uppercut.
Here we go. Level change is coming. He anticipates it, pops him right on the chin. Beautiful work. Really, really clever.
He was wobbly here.
Great
Wow.
anticipation by Capella. He knew he had him hurt, and what do people with grappling skills do when they're hurt? They shoot. He knew it was coming, timed that uppercut perfectly. One more shot for good measure. Mark Goddard steps in. Ignacio Capella moves on, chasing a $100,000 European Championship.
Incredible job by Capella to stay patient after he had him hurt, because what you see a lot is people chase their opponent down, but he waited for Shushan to step in. He saw he was wobbly on his way in. He caught him with that uppercut. Incredible.
That's 5 knockouts in his last 6 outings for Ignacio Capella. And I'm finding, Dan, that if you meet someone from one of the islands belonging to Spain, you probably need to be cautious around them. The Canary Islands producing incredible fighters. This man is from Menorca, one of the Balearic Islands in the Mediterranean. If you meet an islander speaking Spanish, proceed with caution. Andy Shepard makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard calls a halt to the action at 2 minutes and 31 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner via knockout, Ignacio Capella.
Great respect between these two guys. Great show respect between these two guys. Ignacio Capella moves through to the playoffs to take on Connor Hughes.
Wow.
Jakub Kasuba on the other side,
yes,
taking on Daniel Skatidze. I cannot wait for those two fights. My goodness, this lightweight bracket. PFL Europe 2024. We have our playoffs. It's going to be a special night. All right, let's throw it up to Sean O'Connell, who is in the smart cage with Ignacio Capella.
Ignacio Capella, knockout victory, a beautiful performance. You timed the uppercut perfectly. Like you knew he was going to shoot, you landed the uppercut. Did you know the takedown attempt was coming?
Yes, I was watching him making a little bit the chicken dance, and I watched my opportunity to connect this uppercut, and I'm very proud for this in one championship like PFL, one of the best in the world.
Ouais, il nous explique son KO, il a vu son adversaire bouger dans tous les sens et il lui en a mis une. Évidemment, voilà, il est très très fier de cette performance ce soir.
Hostile territory. You're the away fighter. You're the visitor fighting a Frenchman, and the crowd doesn't necessarily love it, but you embrace that role. Do you like being the villain here in Paris?
Oui, c'était clairement l'outsider ici, forcément avec Yazid qui a toute la France derrière lui et Paris derrière lui ce soir. C'était compliqué de combattre ici ce soir.
I love being the devil here, but it's a sport. It's a fair play. Don't take me account.
J'adore être l'outsider, c'est ça le sport et on reste fair play malgré tout.
So now you see the lightweight bracket taking shape. Can you win the European Championship in 2024?
I'm here to win this belt. The level is very up, but I have the level up to win this belt. I'm here for that.
Je suis ici très clairement pour remporter la ceinture. Je sais que le niveau est très très élevé, mais voilà, je vais me battre jusqu'au bout. Je suis ici pour gagner.
Ignacio Capella, ladies and gentlemen.
Another beautiful finish that I could just watch over and over again. So, Capella's going to push forward. He knows Ignacio is backing up. We can see the inside of the smart cage line here. So, of course, he's being pressured into the fence. Beautiful, steady footwork as he's drifting himself into range here, closing this space down between Capella and the fence. Now, of course, Capella's watching this. He's expecting this to fire straight into his chin. Chin is going to level change, but Capella is ready for this. It's not this hand that he's watching, it's the uppercut. Look at that timing. Wow. He showed him the lead hand, tempted him to level change, and walked him onto that fantastic uppercut. What beautiful timing. One more quick pop, and Mark Goddard is in there with his slide tackle finish. Beautiful performance.
I tell you, I'm driving the point home over and over again, but what we're seeing from these prospects, these are people climbing the ranks right now. Maybe not yet ready to take on the best in Bellator, maybe not yet ready to take on the best in the PFL global season. But I tell you, Stefan Struve, the gap between what we're seeing now and what could win you a $1 million world championship is not that large of a gap. This is some incredible skill on display.
Yeah, this is the perfect stage to grow towards that global stage, especially in the Accor Arena, sold out Accor Arena here. The biggest event in Europe this year. So absolutely incredible opportunity for these fighters. And they're showcasing their skill set tonight to the fullest.
We've been just treated, spoiled tonight on finishes. Ignacio Capella adds that to his resume. Acor Arena sold out tonight in anticipation of a main event tilt between Baki Shamsurinov and Cedric Doumbé. Undefeated French fighter, a rising talent, still only 22 years of age. Limitless potential for that young man. Standing in front of him tonight, Cedric Doumbé, multiple-time world champion in kickboxing. But more business to attend to in our regular season. A welterweight tilt coming your way. Ibrahim Amane and Shakina Noso Pedro. Winner advances. Loser waits until next season. Ibrahim Amane and Shakina Noso Pedro. 3 5-minute rounds at 170 pounds. Massive implications for the careers of these two men as they look to climb toward a European Championship opportunity.
Introducing first in the blue corner, Shakina Noso Pedro.
Shakina Noso Pedro, Rotterdam, Netherlands is home. Stefan Struve, you know something about elite mixed martial artists coming out of Netherlands.
Yes, sir. Originally from Angola, but now he lives in the Netherlands, as you say. He also spent time in Brazil for his study, but he was able to train in the favelas at some of the best BJJ gyms you can imagine. He can strike, he can wrestle, he can grapple. He's dangerous on top, but also on his back with submissions. Finished 4 out of his 8 wins, 2-fight winning streak. And tonight, he can really spoil the party for the hometown crowd by taking out Ibrahim Amane.
And with Shakina Noso Pedro, it's okay, you can believe your eyes. His athleticism is on par with what you see. Obviously, visually a physical specimen, that's how he fights.
And we are all over the testing. This guy's been tested yesterday and today. That's a compliment in my mind, because look at the guy, he looks like a bodybuilder, like a powerhouse. Dangerous striking skills.
It's almost like seeing myself in the mirror.
And in the red corner, Ibrahim Amane.
You heard the pop from the French crowd. This man calls Paris, France home. Just like we call Paris, France home, at least for the rest of the night. Ibrahim Amane, a star in his own right. The Freezer has come up on a 5-fight winning streak. He's been in the Aries promotion, a staple here. He's fought in Brave, looking to find a permanent home in the Professional Fighters League with a European Championship.
He's called the Freezer, and he's got a cold expression on his face in this walkout. Heading around to the other side of the smart cage.
Multiple time submission and knockout of the night winner over at Aries FC. As you said, Sean won his last 5 fights. Can make a real statement right before the co-main and main event here in Paris. In front of his hometown fans, going to have a height and reach advantage. He's definitely going to have to use that to keep Chiquinha Noso Pedro on the outside, but he can also wrestle very well. He's got excellent submissions, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions on his record. He can really do it all.
We'll take a look at the tail of the tape for this welterweight regular season affair. Ibrahim Amane, 24 years of age. Chiquinha Noso Pedro is 30. You can see the significant height difference here. Ibrahim Amane is 6 foot. Chiquinha Noso Pedro listed at 5'6". Reach advantage favoring the taller fighter, as one might expect, Ibrahim Amane.
So keys to victory for these two tanks. Look at these individuals. Ibrahim, man, he's got to be patient early, set up those high kicks, and if he fights in flurries, he's going to be able to open up better opportunities for his head kicks to land. Pressure into boxing range for Chiquinha. Clinch to control and attack the body. If he can slow this fight down and make it a slugfest, that's where his raw power comes into play.
The voice of our smart cage is Andy Shepard.
The following welterweight fight is a PFL Europe regular season contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an MMA specialist and stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 169.9 pounds and has built a record of 8 wins and 3 losses. Fighting out of Rotterdam, Netherlands, Chiquinha Noso Pedro! And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is a striking specialist and stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in officially at 170.8 pounds and across his 16-fight career has earned a record of 12 victories and 4 defeats. Fighting out of Paris, France, the Freezer, Ibrahim Amane! Your referee in charge, Derek.
Ibrahim Amane is in the black trunks. Chiquinha Noso Pedro is in the green. I'm Sean O'Connell, joined by Stefan Struve, Dan Hardy cage side, John McCarthy joining us remotely to check in with any rules questions. Welterweight tilt. Amane searching with the kick attempts, nothing landing so far. There's one on the leg.
Little change by Noso Pedro, looking for the clinch.
They go chest to chest, but Ibrahim Amane does a good job pushing Noso Pedro back into the smart cage barrier.
I'm interested to see if Mane decides to disengage here or whether he wants to try and wear Chiquinha out in the clinch a little. I think we're going to see Chiquinha look for some kind of trip or reap in a moment if he feels like he's got a good grip with his hands together. There it is. Oh,
goes to the top position. Muscles his way on top. And now Ibrahim Amane is going to have to reposition, get onto a hip, and see if he can find his way back to his feet.
The bonus here is that as Mane landed, he landed with an underhook on the same side as his half guard. I expect him to start trying to use that underhook to get onto his side and start creating a scramble. But look at the width and the strength of Noso Pedro.
Yeah, being a longer fighter, this is where you do not want to be. Good job by Mane using that underhook.
Got his bottom leg back to it and up to his feet. Ibrahim Amane puts Noso Pedro's back on the cage one more time.
Fingers out.
I feel like
looking for the same thing again.
I kind of feel like the longer this fight goes, the more it's going to favor Ibrahim, man. I feel like he's got a slightly more efficient style on the inside. For me, Cecchini, he looks like he's very relaxed, but he does use a lot of strength in these positions, mainly because he has it to use.
2 underhooks here for Mane. Can he use him to take Nosso Pedro down? Good defense by Nosso Pedro to turn it around, take center of the cage.
Let's progress. Fight.
Referee wants to see more action. As back and forth they go, just reversing positions. Mane with a brief explosion there.
Second warning, more action.
Another warning from the referee there. We might get a separation here halfway through the round.
Guillotine there by Nosso Pedro. Can he lock his legs?
He grabs the guillotine
deep,
and he's squeezing hard. You can see the duress.
He's got it. He's locked in.
Ibrahim Mane trying to get his head out. He does. And the French fans love it.
That was very close. You could see the grimace on Ibrahim Man's face. Wow.
Great job getting out of that. And Nosso Pedro may have burned his arms out a little bit with that attempt.
Good control position here from Man. Lands a couple of good knees. And another one to the thigh. Does he break and strike here, or does he persist with this position? Now he's got the back exposed of Cecchina.
Oh! Standing rear naked choke. He's got the back.
Ibrahim Mane laces his arm around the chin.
Good defense by
Nosso Pedro. Keeps himself out of trouble for now, shrugging those shoulders up high. But he's wearing a French backpack.
Good defense there by Nosso Pedro. Incredibly strong, of course. Now he's got the takedown again.
It looked like Ibrahim Mane was trying to go for the sacrifice throw there. Didn't pay off, but he's back to his feet.
It's very difficult to land that against a short and stocky fighter like Nosso Pedro.
This crowd is awesome. Every time Mane has a slight victory, they are raucous. 30 seconds left here. I'm interested to see what Cecchina looks like when he gets back to his corner. That muscle mass has got a cost to it.
I wonder what Mane is going to do in the second round.
Chest to chest, a grueling fight right now in the first round. Several times they've reversed position. This time Nosso Pedro pulls his way all the way to a mount.
He doesn't have a lot of time to do something with it though.
And already Mane gets one leg back.
Nosso Pedro has showed that this is where he wants to be. Had a couple really good takedowns. I feel like Mane can be more effective in the striking.
So here's that guillotine. Let's take a look at how tight this was. Cecchina must have felt like he had it because he jumped guard. And as Ibrahim Man tried to shake him loose, Cecchina stayed clamped onto it. Oh, he almost tapped there. That was very close. And then Cecchina's guard pops open to readjust. And Mane makes the most of that opportunity to scramble to the back and control that position. And now I have to wonder what Cecchina's arms feel like, because he clamped onto that guillotine with ferocity. Here we go again. Look how hard he squeezes here. He's putting everything into that. He must have felt like this was a foregone conclusion. Toughness, and defense for Ibrahim Man. As soon as those legs pop over, the elbow slides in between so he can't close his guard again. Clever work.
The celebrities are in the building. Vince Cassel, incredible French actor.
No. Ready?
Ibrahim Mane in the black, Cecchina Nosso Pedro in the green. Round 2 begins. Winner advances in the PFL Europe welterweight season. Oh, front kick.
Good right hand there by Nosso Pedro though.
Better footwork from Mane here, keeping himself out of those bear hugs of Cecchina Nosso Pedro.
Those front kicks are a very good deterrent for someone that likes to level change. Hey!
He goes high, lands a right hand there. This is where Nosso Pedro wants to be.
I don't think he's going to be able to control Ibrahim Man as well as he did in the first round. I feel like the longer this fight goes, the more Man is going to be ferocious at shaking away with this clinch.
We're a minute into round number 2. How did Big John McCarthy think these judges may have scored round 1? Big John, tell me.
You know, I would have scored that round for Noso Pedro. He's the guy that did. He had more volume. That the choke attempt was close. It was tight. All the takedowns, he wins that round. But the question is, how much lactic acid is now in those arms? I think Dan Hardy's right. He's getting tired.
Good double unders again. There's the takedown yet again for Noso Pedro, going to full mount.
Now with more time to work, but again, Ibrahim Amane not wasting any time, scrambling, getting himself out of serious trouble.
He's got the wrist and a leg.
I love the fact that he's not accepting these positions. At no point does he go, oh, okay, let me just stay here for a moment.
Little roll, tries to Granby out of this, but he's got Chiquita Noso Pedro on his back.
He's gonna end up on top. Nice shot by Mane.
So we're watching the knees here. You want to watch these knees because that pinch there with Ibrahim Man's knees is what's going to control the hips of Noso Pedro. As he starts to try and scramble and kick his hips out one way or the other, we're going to see Ibrahim Man use those legs either side to wedge him into that position so he can start opening up with ground and pound. Just over half a round to go here. Chiquita Noso Pedro's working his way back to the fence, but he has to be careful given he's back again.
Back to his feet, Chiquita Noso Pedro, Ibrahim Mane.
I would be tempted to get some space and start throwing some head kicks and knees in this position on the break if I was Ibrahim Man. I feel like there's an easy knee for him to land there, but he gives the underhook and he brings himself back to a 50-50 position.
And Noso Pedro has showed he's really strong here. Double unders for Man.
The resistance to those underhooks is starting to fade though for Chiquita Noso Pedro. This is a tenacious pace for these two big welterweights.
He could get the takedown again. He's got the body lock, but good defense here by Mane.
He stepped and tried to reap that knee from the outside. Inside trip might have been more efficient there for Noso Pedro.
More action.
The referee wants to see more action here. Level change by Noso Pedro. Almost takes it back, but good job by Mane to recognize that. There's the break from the referee.
The referee does not like these stalemates on the cage. 90 seconds left in round 2.
It's the night of the uppercuts here. Ibrahim Man's looking for it as well. He's got to fight his way off this fence. He's got just over a minute to go.
Single leg by Noso Pedro. Can he finish it?
Switches to the head outside. Well done, Ibrahim Mane.
Good takedown defense this round for Ibrahim Man. Head position in this clinch position here. Will he strike? Will he break and strike, or is he going to work for his own takedown here?
Let's work, gentlemen. More action.
Fighting for underhooks. Mane is not using the underhooks though to take Noso Pedro down.
A nice sharp uppercut on the dirty box, but Noso Pedro uses the position to smother any other attacks. Final 30 seconds of this round.
Oh!
Beautiful takedown there by Mane.
Caught the knee. And now forcing Noso Pedro to scramble away and retreat.
If I was in Ibrahim Man's corner right now, I would be screaming for him to clear and get out the clinch. This third round is going to decide this, and I think the conditioning of these two fighters might be the deciding factor.
Back to the stools they go. We will see round 3.
Mane not looking happy there. Not happy with his performance so far.
Well, and honestly looking more fatigued, at least going back to the stool, than Noso Pedro.
Yeah, he's breathing through his nose still, Noso Pedro is.
Mamadou Sakho in the building. The VIPs filling it up in anticipation of the Lazy King's return in Cedric Doumbé's main event. There's Cisse. Icons of French sport filling the building.
Ready?
Inside the smart cage,
Ready?
Chiquita
Let's go.
Noso Pedro and Ibrahim Mane for one more round.
The pressure might be on Ibrahim Mane to try and get a stoppage in this third round. He's got to be cautious getting drawn into the clinch again, because you know Noso Pedro is going to try and slow this fight down again. Oh!
Good nice jab from Noso Pedro. Good footwork on the outside to avoid the bull rush there from Ibrahim Mane. There's that front kick again. Drives one to the leg as well.
Oh, beautiful jab by Mane there.
And great work to stay away from that cage.
This is what I like to see. Hopefully he can convince himself to stay in this striking range. Oh, there was the uppercut.
And
Barely
Noso
missed.
Pedro landed one on the return.
Oh,
knee! Noso Pedro just bulls through it though. But Ibrahim Mane with the hip switch lands on top.
Great takedown defense. I mean, that most people have been taken down with a bite on a takedown that deep. Ibrahim Mane on the floor, 4 minutes to go. There's a rattle around the stadium of feet on the ground as he lands on the foot corner sponsor.
Noso Pedro using the fence with his legs.
Ibrahim Mane takes it back.
Can he lock it in?
Again, lacing his arms around the chin. Thinks better of it, puts his feet on the mat one more time.
Noso Pedro trying to open up the hands of Mane, trying to create space so he can turn into him. Mane trying to put his weight on Noso Pedro.
We're seeing this underhook poking through here. Mane needs to dig that deeper like he just did. Now he's got a frame across the face, which we can't see right now. Digs another underhook. This is good work by Mane, but he needs to move his feet as well. Now he's moved his feet. This is what we need to see. We need to see him circling off the fence and clearing this space. If he can get back to a striking range, he can start to let go of some of his dangerous, lethal weapons.
Right hand on the exit.
Good front kick there by Mane.
Halfway through round 3, 2.5 minutes left to decide this fight. Nice reversal of position here by Mane, who used that underhook.
Fingers out of the cage.
Mane struggles to convince himself to go back to striking distance, I think. He's incredibly tired. But this is really favoring Noso Pedro, in my opinion.
Well, he was right in front of his own corner, and I think they talked him into backing out. Good movement there by Noso Pedro, forcing Mane to miss. Double underhooks and a march to the cage one more time.
Both of these guys are exhausted. Ibrahim Mane digging an underhook. 2 underhooks now for Ibrahim Mane. Can he move his feet again and get off the fence?
Let's work, gentlemen, more work.
Coming up to 90 seconds left in the last round.
Really comes down to who wants it the most right now. Who can convince himself
All right, stop.
to look for the finish.
Noso Pedro didn't like the separation there. He's got 90 seconds to claim this fight. Inside leg kick.
Both of these guys so incredibly tired, labored in their movement. Little duck under from Noso Pedro, finds him back in the clinch.
Nice timing over there.
French fans do not like the strategy from Chiquita Noso Pedro, trying to muscle his way to a victory here.
I think they feel and they see the same thing as us. I think Noso Pedro is winning the fight over here in these situations.
Let's work, gentlemen, more work.
I think he's very, very tired though, so at any point when Noso Pedro can clinch, he's going to slow this fight down as much as possible. He's now not being nearly as offensive with his takedowns as he was previously.
Again, straight.
30 seconds to go. Who can convince the judges?
Leg kick. Oh, knee on the entrance. But Noso Pedro. Oh,
beautiful throw.
Use the momentum.
Can he finish the fight here?
Mane hammering away. Oh, big kick. But Noso Pedro again pulls right through.
Madness in the end of the fight.
10 seconds to go. There's the clapper.
Ibrahim Mane reverses position and finishes.
What an end to the fight.
Control. Wow.
What a fight. What a fight.
And yet again, I'm gonna say it, I'm happy I'm not a judge.
Well, both of these fighters think they did enough. The official judges will have the final say here. We'll check in with Big John McCarthy when we get a moment. What a pace. Cageonomic stats bundle, you can see Shakina Noso Pedro threw more, landed more. I think an argument could be made that the significant strikes belong to Ibrahim Mane. A lot of that work was in the clinch, the dirty boxing, the body shots for Shakina Noso Pedro. But it's so hard to know how judges are going to score when they're also counting these stats.
Let's take a look at a few of these highlights. Nice timing on this. As Noso Pedro level changes, he's a big knee, but he just managed to smother it enough to take away the majority of the power.
I think he caught it with the chest.
And here we go with a flurry between these two guys. And you could see how heavy they were in this last round, but still, the timing on that knee was a thing of beauty.
Here's the throw. Beautiful timing on that.
I mean, I scored the last round for Man. I don't know about the first two.
Woo.
As you said, effective striking. I could maybe lean the second round to Mane as well, but I think we might see Shakina take this one 2 rounds to 1.
I don't know how Shakina Noso Pedro pushed through that last incredibly well-timed knee. He ate it right on the neck meat, and it didn't seem to affect him at all. Big John McCarthy, if I'm putting your feet to the fire, how do you score this fight?
Well, I got to go with neck meat. Where did you come up with neck meat? That's awesome. Look, this was a great fight. Both guys put out so much energy, and I was very impressed they were able to continue that. Third round definitely goes to Ibrahim Mane. But if you're going to take a look at the whole thing, I'm going to say that Ibrahim Mane is going to end up sneaking this out, but it can go either way. It's going to be a 29-28. Both guys really put a lot out in that fight.
Unenviable position for the judges to be in. Andy Shepard has appeared with the judges' scorecards. We send it to him for the verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge David Leatherby scored about 29-28 for Mane. Judge Karim Shimi scored about 29-28 for Noso Pedro. And Judge Mohamed Kahala scores about 29-28 for your winner via split decision, Ibrahim Mane!
A very, very close fight, that one, my goodness. I would like to see these guys 2 more rounds, to be honest. And I think we're going to see Shakina Noso Pedro back in the PFL very soon. All right, let's take a look at these brackets. So that decides the first of our playoffs in the welterweight bracket. Ibrahim Mane taking on Daniel Maselli. We have Florim Zendelli on the other side of the bracket. His opponent will be determined in June on the next regular season event. What a welterweight bracket this is. All right, Sean O'Connell is in the smart cage with the winner, Ibrahim Mane. Over to you, Sean.
Ibrahima just wants to put the t-shirt on. Paris! Ibrahim Mane victorious. Split decision victory. Were you confident that when the judges' scorecards were read, you would get the win?
Est-ce que tu étais confiant que tu allais pouvoir l'emporter, même si c'était split decision ce soir?
First time. Salut Paris.
On est chez nous, je voulais vous montrer plus que ça. Je suis vraiment désolé de ma presta. Ça me ressemble pas. Il a pourri le combat. Il m'a collé. Désolé, franchement désolé.
He says sorry because he's pretty disappointed about his performance and he's like, apologies for all the audience.
I don't know how you can apologize for a performance like that, especially when you knew the fight was on the line. You threw the big head kick, the hip toss, a beautifully timed knee. I think that might have been the difference in this fight. You dug deep and you're moving on in the season.
Comment c'est possible d'être déçu après une telle performance? Voilà, vous avancez et vous continuez dans la saison.
Parce qu'en vrai, je connais mes capacités. J'ai une panoplie pour tous ceux qui me connaissent sportivement. Tous ceux qui m'ont suivi, vous savez que je propose plus que ça. Et là, voilà. C'était pas moi, mais je vais me rattraper. Vous allez voir encore plus que ça là, la prochaine fois. Sûr et certain.
We're going to see a lot more next. For all the ones that knows him and follow him, they know he has more abilities than this. So.
As a fighter representing France and living and training in Paris, what does it mean to be fighting in front of a sold-out Accor Arena tonight?
Un combattant français qui vit, qui s'entraîne à Paris, qu'est-ce que ça fait d'affronter, d'être dans la cage, dans un événement comme ça où l'Accor Arena est pleine à craquer?
Tout d'abord, on a le meilleur public du monde, Paris. La France, purée, vous entendez? Meilleur que l'Angleterre, meilleur que tout. Je kiffe trop mon public, je vous kiffe à fond. Et c'est un plaisir de combattre à Paris, chez moi ici.
We have the best crowd in the world. We're better than England, we're better than anybody, and yeah, it was a pleasure here to fight here today, here in Paris.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ibrahim Abade!
So that is the welterweight bracket. Let's take a look at the lightweight bracket, which is now complete for the playoffs. Ignacio Capello with an emphatic performance. He steps in for Connor Hughes. That's a hell of a fight between two very, very crisp, dangerous strikers. Jakub Kasuba, 2023 champion, the inaugural PFL lightweight champion. He moves in to fight Daniel Skatidze, who had a fantastic heel hook finish. What a bracket that's going to be. Here we are, here's the schedule. We're wrapping up Paris, that's the regular season for Paris done. We're gonna move into the main and co-main event now. The next regular season event, June 8th, Newcastle, England. Bantamweights, women's flyweights, and one more welterweight battle. And then the playoffs, September 28th in Glasgow. Lots to look forward to.
That brings us to our co-main event. Jack Grant, the final touches being put on a warm-up. He will look to spoil the party of the Lazy King, who makes his return to the Smart Cage after a sensational performance first time out. And there he is, Abdul Abduragimov, a fan favorite here in Paris. Grappling phenom looking to make another statement tonight.
The people love the Lazy King. Everyone on their feet. This man is a cult hero.
Oh, and we clinched.
Short choke, that's tight.
Oh, that's it. Oh!
This is exactly where Jack Grant wants to be.
Oh, takes a big shot. That's it.
There's DJ Snake, new release out, Big Bang. Look at Dan Hardy facing these co-main event fighters off in front of the Eiffel Tower. There's the Lazy King, Jack Grant with a smile on his face. Very confident coming into tonight. Jack Grant, big-time finisher. A welterweight showcase, 3 5-minute rounds between Abdul Abduragimov, Jack Grant, representing England tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, making their way to the PFL Europe Smart Cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Jack Grant.
Jack Grant very content to play the bad guy tonight. The French fans are letting him have it as he makes this walkout. Title contender in Cage Warriors. And as we have talked about plenty of times, 18 of his 19 victories have come via stoppage. 10 of those are submission victories. So even though the Lazy King is the grappling phenom with 12 submission victories here, there's not a large disparity between his success in grappling and Jack Grant's.
Of course, let's not forget, Jack Grant has never been submitted. Very interesting going up against Abdul Abduragimov. Grant is an absolute unit at welterweight. Looks to be in tremendous shape. He needs to use that reach and height advantage to keep Abduragimov off of him. Because although he's very good on the ground, that's where you don't want to be with Abduragimov.
You can see the enormous frame on Jack Grant.
And his opponent in the red corner, Abdul Abduragimov.
And out come the phones and the lights and the cheers for Lazy King. Big-time stoppage master himself, 12 submissions. And we talked a lot about the variety of those submissions. If you defend the rear naked, he's gonna go for the armbar. If you defend the armbar, he's gonna transition to the triangle choke. If he can't get one of those, he'll try to heel hook you or knee bar you. This man has all of the tools in the toolbox. Every weapon in the arsenal for a grappler belongs to Abdul Abduragimov, and he has not made any claims tonight about which submission he will be chasing. Says he doesn't want to focus on one particular attack. Told me many times when I was speaking to him this week, I got to be creative. As a fighter, I want to be creative. I think the creativity tonight against someone who's never been submitted might be to rely a little bit more on striking to set things up. We'll see how it plays out in this co-main event. Here's your tail of the tape. Lazy King, 28 years old. Jack Grant is 31. 6 feet 1 inches tall is Jack Grant. It makes him 3 inches taller than the Lazy King. 5-inch reach advantage on the arms, favoring the Englishman. Both men with 40-inch legs.
He's the victory for Abduragimov. He needs to close the distance early and go for single leg takedowns on his way to taking the back. For Jack Grant, long range striking, because you do not want to go to the ground with Abduragimov. Use conditioning as a weapon because he's in phenomenal shape. Use his grappling to escape and don't get caught, of course, in submissions. Incredible matchup this is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our co-main event of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a grappling specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 169.3 pounds and in his 26-fight career has earned a record of 19 wins and 7 losses. 18 wins coming by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Grimsby, England, Jack Grant! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a BJJ and wrestling specialist. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in officially at 169.7 pounds. He holds a professional record of 17 victories and 1 defeat. 14 wins coming by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Nantes, France, the Lazy King, Abduragimov! The referee judge, Loic Poirot.
Jack Grant in the green trunks, Lazy King in the black. 3 5-minute rounds in a welterweight co-main event. Early kicks to the lead leg from Lazy King.
Jack Grant is a big welterweight compared to Abduragimov. Good low kicks. Take away some of that movement before you set up the level change.
Power from Jack Grant there.
Grant definitely has the knockout advantage on his resume. 8 knockouts.
Nice calf kick there by the Lazy King.
There's another. Got a little out of position, Jack Grant.
Now he's got a guillotine, he's got a hold of him.
But there's the neck.
What can he do with it?
Lazy King squeezing hard on this choke attempt.
He doesn't have his legs locked, but he can use it to set something different up.
Not controlling the hips, but that is a tight squeeze. He's all the way in on his deep on his own elbow here.
This is where Jack Grant's grappling wisdom comes into play. He knows how to tweak the position by millimeters to give himself breath and stay safe. But Abdul must feel confident that he's got something here.
He's got his head out. Now Abduragimov now trying to crawl that left leg up. Control the posture of Jack Grant.
Good pressure by Grant here. It's really difficult for Abduragimov here at the fence to lock something up, but he's...
So we've got mission control here. This position, this leg across the top here is keeping... Oh, now we've gone to the lockdown. Okay. Jack Grant's managed to slide his shoulders back through. Lazy King's going to try and isolate this arm that's on the canvas here. He's going to bring his legs up. He's going to creep his legs up and try and isolate the upper body of Jack Grant.
Grant is trying to create some distance. Perhaps land some elbows.
Lazy King content to work from the bottom here. He's not opening his guard to try and work a stand-up position. Abduragimov on the bottom, Jack Grant on top.
Oh, Lazy King kicking his hips out. You can see that for a second. Lazy King slid his hips out to one side. Now Jack Grant's trying to slide his knee through the guard. You can see the guard is open, but now the butterfly hooks are into position.
Good pass here by Jack Grant, gets that left leg through.
He's got really good top pressure so far. It's really difficult for Abduragimov to do anything.
A great flexibility from Abduragimov as well. We know this from his athletic ability, his backflips and stuff, but look how he's folded his hooks into his butt cheeks here. That allows him to really create a lot of power from this position. Some blood from the nose of Abduragimov.
It's just been a position battle from the top so far. Grant trying to pass, seeing if he can move his knees through. And there's a hammer fist with
good
some
shots there by Grant.
Big left hands here. Lazy King having to try and wrestle out of that.
He's got a hold on the wrists of Grant.
Lazy King wants to grapple.
Is he holding the gloves though? The referee's taking a good look there. He's bleeding from the nose badly.
Good right hand from Lazy King. And then the low kick to the calf. Combination from Grant. Lazy King almost caught him off balance. Here's a takedown.
He's got a hold of him. Now he's got him on his back.
Abduragimov.
Oh,
Dart choke. He's going for
choke
it.
lacing in.
Does he have enough space, though, at the fence?
He's got the hands together. See if he can push that arm all the way through.
Guy's so strong in this position. 1 minute to go.
No, is what Jack Grant is saying here.
The wag of the finger says he's just fine.
He's got a Japanese necktie here.
But that is a nasty
You can hear the
crank
gasping.
on the
Finish it.
neck.
Jack Grant
You
is
can
in
hear the
trouble here.
gasping.
If Abduragimov can push his hips forward, crank that neck, you see Jack Grant is in a serious position here.
Look at the leg. Look at the hyperextension on the knee as well. The clamp of Abduragimov is something else.
It's really difficult to finish the darts from this position in half guard, but you can go for that Japanese necktie, but really good defense by Jack Grant.
He could really do with walking Jack Grant's hips back to the fence. In this position, he doesn't have a lot of space to start cinching this up. With him up against the fence, it's going to restrict his movement.
Final 10 seconds of a very interesting round number one. Lazy King will hammer away on the ears of Jack Grant and try once again to readjust that grip. Now if you're a judge, you've got to figure out whose top control was more significant, because each man spent a decent amount of time there.
I would nullify all the top control. That guillotine choke, that neck attack there was close enough. You could hear Jack Grant gasping and gurgling. That for me is enough, close enough as a finish to win the round.
That's how I would score it, but that is not my job tonight. As we take a look at these replays, nice work from Jack Grant. Look, getting creative, knees to the chest from that top position.
Good hammer fist.
Good hammer fist, some strikes on top. He did draw blood here in this first round, but look at this.
What a crazy position to get caught in. I talk about the flexibility of Abduragimov, but look at that leg of Jack Grant. This is where that veteran savvy comes into play. Superstars, Sean.
Tony Parker, NBA Hall of Famer, one of the greatest international stars, multiple-time NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs.
Ready? Fight!
Abduragimov is in the black with the calf kick. Jack Grant is in the green, offering another calf kick to his opponent.
Mind games by Jack Grant.
Don't want to give up too many of them.
We can see the bruising on that lead leg, though, already of Jack Grant from that calf kick.
Lazy King might need to be careful about getting walked back into the smart cage barrier by a welterweight as large as Jack Grant. Nice hook.
Oh!
Another from Abdul.
Good left hook there. Level change, and he's got a leg.
Nice defense here from Jack Grant.
Expect the Lazy King to sit out in a moment, especially if he can get that leg free. Look at the flexibility, the dexterity of the hips of Lazy King. This is why he's so dangerous in tight positions. He folds up into a suitcase and explodes out with tremendous power.
And he gets that nasty hook and a right hand behind it. Strong work there on the exit from Abdul. Overhand right just misses. Calf kick lands.
A lot of power in those, man.
I think that one hurt Lazy King, to be honest.
Oh, good jab. One offered back by Jack Grant.
Oh,
Little cup check there. They'll continue the fight. Good, again, level change, head outside.
Good defense by Grant, though.
Grant trying to grab and isolate this heel hook. Abdul is rolling and rolls all the way out to front head block position. He had to go around the bend a couple of times to get all the way out.
He's got a head and the arm. What can he do with it? He's going for arm and guillotine. Can he finish it? He's got it.
Oh, this is tight.
squeeze.
Look at the leg across the back. That's what's holding Jack Grant into this position.
He's only got one leg, can't control the hips all the way. Trying to move into the mount. Jack Grant negates it.
We can see this wrap around the neck here. This is what Jack Grant has to deal with. His head is popped out. Now he's got this grip around the back of Lazy King here to hold him into this position. But Lazy King is an expert at passing the guard from this position.
Incredible grappling attacks and defense on display here in Paris. Halfway through round number 2.
This is why Jack Grant has never been submitted in his pro MMA career. Excellent defense so far. Nice knee by Grant.
And here in these clinch exchanges, you can really see the size difference in these welterweights. Halfway through this fight, does the pure mass of Jack Grant become a factor as Abdul tries to carry it?
Good knees by Grant there.
Offered that one all the way up over his shoulder.
Very tight on the strikes here. 14-11 in favor of Abdurakhimov. 1 of 2 takedowns as well. And I don't think it's going to be the last takedown we see.
Good position exit there from Abdurakhimov. Nice right hand from Jack Grant. 90 seconds left in round 2.
Nice front kicks to the shin bone there. We don't see that very often, but if you can find an opportunity. Oh!
Lazy King tries to roll through after Grant tried to take his back.
Good hammer fist again from Jack Grant.
Strong top work here from Grant. Lazy King
trying to look up a leg. Palm strikes from Grant. He had some good ones in the first round as well.
Abdurakhimov's talking to Jack Grant. He's on his side here. I think he's going to need to dig that right arm underhook to create a scramble.
Come on, boy, drop.
Nice job by Jack Grant here.
And Abdul has been in this position before. He's been on the bottom against a bigger opponent, and he still managed to get the finish in the last round. Jack Grant needs to be very cautious, even when the Lazy King seems like he might be being a little bit lazy.
Nice knee to the body there from Jack Grant. Trying to get a hold of the wrist, but not a good knee by Grant.
Solid knee to the body there from Jack Grant, who was using those in the first round as well.
Round 2 in the books. We will see the third and final frame. Jack Grant. More VIPs in the building here in Paris.
So this is the position here where Lazy King had level changed and shot in, and Jack Grant was able to get a wrap on his head to defend this, but then Lazy King bails out, lands a couple of good strikes on the break there. You can't underestimate the Lazy King striking, especially when his takedowns are such a threat. Look at that level change. In on a single leg. Great defense from Jack Grant. Switches it to an ankle lock. Lazy King pirouettes out of it. Great defense here. Recovers his knee line. And then he finds himself in this position where Jack Grant had a hand on the floor, so he couldn't knee. So he attacks the neck. Another very good neck attack that Jack Grant had to escape. Another hard fight to score, guys.
That was very close. That guillotine was really tight.
It was a really tight guillotine, and then, you know, the second half of that round was really all Jack Grant.
Yeah.
Putting Abdul on the defensive.
Grant's doing an excellent job. He's not afraid to go to the ground.
Last round in our co-main event in Paris. Jack Grant is in the green. Lazy King, Abdurakhimov is in the black. We keep talking about how tough it is to score the roll attempt. Trying to rolling kick. Big John McCarthy, what do your scorecards look like?
You know, right now I have the Lazy King up. You know, you take a look at the submission attempts, and that last one with the guillotine, just like Stefan was talking about, it was tight, and that's putting Jack Grant in danger. He's not doing enough with his striking to make it back up. So right now I have the Lazy King up 2-0.
Right now, Jack Grant on the back of the Lazy King.
Very interesting.
Probably ill-advised on that wild kick rolling attempt.
Can he get the other leg in?
Good work by the Lazy King to get back to his feet here. Jack Grant is putting all kinds of force into the lower back of the Lazy King, but he doesn't have both of his hooks in play. Lazy King's trying to push Jack Grant's head away, and he could break this grip on the back of the legs. he might be able to shake himself free.
Grant needs to be careful that he doesn't slide off here. Being slippery in the third round. Abduragimov is looking for just that, I think. Excellent control here by Jack Grant. Big compliment for Jack Grant. The way he's fighting, he's really controlling the fight.
Good work by Lazy King here, pitching Jack Grant forward again. Forcing Jack Grant to use a lot of leg strength to hold himself in this position.
Can he end up on top? He's twisting. There he goes.
Good scramble.
Triangle choke.
Gets himself out of that.
The back.
And now Lazy King with 3 minutes to go.
Can he do it again?
Is on the back of Jack Grant.
Oh, no. Beautiful scramble by Jack Grant.
And you see the scramble and then the movement immediately to advanced position by Jack Grant. Trying to stay a step ahead of the Lazy King, who can't really lean on his lazy style right now. Here we go again.
Falls into him again.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
He's perched on that butterfly hook and now he's cleared it. Now can he really clear the full
2.5 minutes
control?
to go.
Well, he's got that left underhook, which could keep him in this side control position.
You can see Jack Grant is building a wall here. Now he scoots himself
Beautiful.
out, turned to his
Great
knees.
job.
But Lazy King is on the neck again. You can see him threatening that.
Anaconda choke.
Yes, he's in
Can
the
he lock up
armpit.
the bicep though? Yes, there he goes. He's got
There's
it.
the anaconda.
Can he roll with it?
And he's got the leg.
Leg again. Look at the control on the leg here.
Jack Grant just wags the finger every time one of these submission attempts looks so tight.
Look at this grip here on the bicep for the Lazy King. That is so difficult for Jack Grant to release because it's buried in his armpit.
Jack Grant is pushing his arm out, his elbow out. That's what's saving him right now. That's taking the pressure off of his neck. His right arm.
Look at this
Sorry, his
tangle. You
left
can see
arm.
the leg here tangled up by Lazy King. You can see this figure four grip that he's got on the head and arm as well.
It's not tight enough.
Jack Grant's saying no, but this is a deep submission attempt and it looks good on the judges' scorecards. And Lazy King still has the grip. That looks incredibly tight. I am amazed that Jack Grant has not passed out yet.
I don't know where Jack Grant is finding the space to breathe and keep the blood flowing, but he is.
I don't think Abduragimov's arm is deep enough because he's just barely got the bicep with his fingers. He can't squeeze enough. His bicep is, his hand is sliding off.
Trying to stay on top. Lazy King for now does. He had to let go of the real choke attempt there. Excellent defensive work all 3 rounds.
Less than
by
a minute
Jack
to
Grant.
go. Can Jack Grant stay unsubmittable is the question. It's been incredible so far, this grappling exchange. And
40
it's
seconds.
really tested Lazy King, which is what we were hoping for. Jack Grant is a tough veteran. He's got to get his neck clear of this, though. The judges are going to be counting this against him for sure. And you can just feel that Lazy King is waiting for Jack Grant to try and scramble, so he can just tighten this up a little bit. Just tighten it a little bit.
He's going to survive, though.
Final 10 seconds. Jack Grant pulls his head all the way out. Lazy King with some big hits. Those were nasty, and now maybe one more squeeze on the neck. No, he'll punch his way to the bell. Lazy King! Does he ascend the throne again?
Crowds
We have an official decision. Andy Shepherd, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Vito Palido scores about 30-27 for Abdul Ragimov. Judge Mohammed Kamala scores about 29-28 for Grant. And Judge David Leatherby scores about 29-28 for your winner via split decision. Abdul Ragimov.
A hard-fought and hard-earned victory for the Lazy King. And you can see the respect and appreciation between these two guys. A fantastic performance from both of them. Just not quite enough for Jack Grant to get 2 judges to see it his way. The Lazy King is with Sean O'Connell. Let's get it over. Let's get it over to Sean O'Connell, see what the Lazy King's got to say.
The Lazy King, ladies and gentlemen, victorious by decision this time. So many tight submission attempts, but he refused to tap. Did you think the Darce or the guillotine or any of those was going to get you the submission victory?
Like always, first of all, thank you everybody for the support. Merci beaucoup. Paris, France, us. And yes, I tried to finish like always. I said I'm here for the finish. This time I didn't get it. But no matter what, I continue. I tried until the end. But he's a real black belt. Now we have the confirmation. So it was very close, but I didn't get it. But I'm happy I get the win.
Fais la réponse en français, du coup tu parles français, ce serait dommage quand même.
Donc merci beaucoup à tout le monde, comme toujours pour le support. Ça me fait plaisir, merci. Oh ça! Et comme toujours, j'essaie de finir le combat. J'ai pas réussi cette fois, mais j'ai essayé jusqu'au bout. Voilà, c'est une vraie ceinture noire en fait. Parce que des fois, il y a des fausses ceintures noires. Donc merci beaucoup. Oussa.
Abdul, this is the largest MMA event in the history of this country, and you are the co-main event. What does it mean to take home a win in this arena, in this environment?
For me, any win is very important because it's part of the big journey. So I'm, of course, happy to be part of this historical event, and we hope to continue the journey. Let's see what will be tomorrow. So je suis content que j'ai une victoire, comme toujours, ça fait partie de toutes mes victoires, font partie de la journée, l'aventure. En fait, merci beaucoup tout le monde. Si vous avez aimé le Lazy Show, cette fois, désolé, j'ai pas eu le finish, mais j'essaye. Lazy Show, ça continue. Oh, ça! Et juste pour l'égalité, parce que la France, il y a liberté, égalité, fraternité. Comme le prochain combat, vous savez, on dit beaucoup, Baki, t'es mort. On va dire maintenant, Cédric, t'es mort! Cédric, t'es mort! Cédric, t'es mort! Juste pour l'égalité, c'est tout. Woo! Justice, I'm for justice. Yes.
Lazy King, ladies and gentlemen. And a special guest, a very special guest joining us inside the Smart Cage. Multiple-time NBA champion, Hall of Famer, an icon in sport here in France, in the United States where I'm from. Tony Parker, thank you so much for being here. Your impressions of the PFL and this huge MMA event here in Paris.
You can do both, in English and then we'll do it in French.
Sure.
I'm happy to be here, happy to be at a great event here in my country, in my hometown. So hopefully it's going to be an exciting night. I'm here to see Cedric, so I hope he's going to perform.
La légende de la NBA et du basketball français, Tony Parker, qui est dans l'Accor Arena ce soir. Faites-lui un maximum de bruit, allez! La question c'était qu'est-ce que ça te fait de faire partie de l'histoire? C'est le plus grand événement jamais organisé en France de MMA.
Bah justement, j'avais envie d'être là. Je suis allé aux États-Unis, j'ai eu plusieurs fois à Vegas et New York et je voulais voir ce que ça donne à Paris. Donc l'énergie, elle est incroyable et j'ai hâte que ça commence ce soir.
Looking forward to it.
Tony Parker, a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for being here. Tony Parker, ladies and gentlemen. Fight fans, we are in Paris, France for the launch of our 2024 PFL Europe season. The City of Lights tonight is all about the fights here at a sold-out Accor Arena. The largest event in mixed martial arts history here in this beautiful country. Sellout crowd. All waiting for the walkout and the performance of an absolute icon. Eager anticipation here. Dan Hardy, Stefan Struve, I'm Sean O'Connell. We have talked about this. The fact that it is incredibly rare in the sport of mixed martial arts to find a true superstar on the rise. These fighters like this, personalities like this, we haven't seen many of them in the young history of this sport of mixed martial arts. And undeniably, Cedric Doumbé able to sell out an arena. He belongs on the list with the names that everybody knows already. He's only 5 fights deep.
It's incredible. This whole event, what the furor that Cedric's been able to create in this country is like nothing else I've ever seen. It's going to take me a few days to recover from this emotionally because this is just so overwhelming. We have over 16,000 seats in this arena, and I'm looking around, and not one of them is being used right now. Everybody is on their feet. Everybody is anticipating this walkout, and every single person in this room will remember this event for the rest of their lives. This is a special night for all of us. I feel very grateful to be here.
Baki, that's Baisangor Shamsurinov. That's Cedric Doumbé. These guys so heated all week, back and forth. You couldn't get them in the same spot without the tension and the camps butting heads and going back and forth. And we settle it in a mere few moments here in Paris. A welterweight main event. Cedric Doumbé, Baisangor Baki Shamsurinov.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Baisangor Shamsurinov.
Years old, undefeated, 7-0, an incredible powerhouse in the welterweight division. Baki Shamsurinov looking to spoil the fun for a sellout crowd tonight and stake his claim at mixed martial arts stardom. Make no mistake, this is not a mismatch. That young man is formidable, well-rounded. The toughest test of Cedric Doumbé's career.
And in the red corner, Cedric Doumbé.
Undefeated at 5-0, Cedric Doumbé makes his highly anticipated return to the Smart Cage in Paris. Cedric Doumbé and his fans have set quite a stage here in Paris as we take a look at the tail of the tape for this welterweight main event. Doumbé, 32 years of age. Baki Shamsudanov is 22. Both men 5 feet 8 inches tall. Reach advantage on the arms belongs to Cedric Doumbé. Both men turned in a 41-inch measurement on the legs.
All right, keys to victory, Cedric Doumbé, of course, defend early takedowns. Counter-punching will be the safer route than leading. Scramble to safety, of course, for Shamsudinov. Establish that jab, pap, pap. Set up the takedown, of course, and the jab will be a big part of that. And then if he can trap Cedric against the fence, that is where Baki does his best work.
The voice of our smart cage, Andy Shepard, one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paris, France, we have arrived at our main event of the evening, and the world is watching! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is an MMA specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed officially at 170.4 pounds, and he holds a perfect professional record of 7 wins and no losses. Fighting out of Paris, France, by Songu Baki Shamsudinov. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a striking specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 170.2 pounds, and he holds an undefeated record of 5 victories and no defeats. All 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Paris, France, Cedric the Best Doumbé. And your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules. You find the listen to me at all times. Keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch, do it now. If you want to touch, do it now. God bless. Cedric.
Cedric Doumbé in the black trunks. Baki Shamsudinov in the green. 2 undefeated fighters.
Ready, ready.
Here we go. Touch of the gloves. And the low stance again for Cedric Doumbé.
One of these special fights, my heart is pounding.
Look at the width of Baki Shamsudinov's back.
Cedric's trying to tempt Baki to throw so he can counter. Smart move. If he throws first, Baki's going to level change. There it is.
There's the kick.
Perfect job by Baki Shamsudinov. Very interesting scenario.
And now we see Cedric Doumbé on his back. Butterfly hooks in.
Shamsudinov is so incredibly strong in this position. Butterflies, beautiful job here.
What a stand up there by Cedric Doumbé. Confidence builder for the kickboxing world champion.
And what a statement as well to be able to create space so easily with his butterfly hooks. Pop back to his feet. Nice jab.
Ducked under the overhand right from Baki.
Threatens the rear legs, Doumbé. I think he's going to start thinking about that rear knee. Now he's got the timing of Baki's level change. And you can see how tentative Baki is to throw any strikes in his direction. Oh, kick catch.
Nice snatch single there by Baki.
Great scramble by Doumbé yet again. Can he get back up? No.
Baki wrestles all the way to the top, and again, here's those butterfly hooks. Cedric Doumbé on his back for the second time in this fight. 2 minutes gone.
Staying very calm, and Shamsudinov's not taking any risks because he's afraid Doumbé is going to pop right back up again.
This hand control here is fantastic. You can see Doumbé's got the butterfly hooks on the inside. He's not allowing Baki to pass his guard. Beautiful work here from Baki though. Now he's starting to circle around in this direction. He's passed the half guard. Doumbe's got the overhook. He's got the frame on the inside of the bicep as well. He's doing all the right things.
Beautiful job there by
Granby roll by Doumbé. Baki floats and stays on the back of Cedric Doumbé. Baki Shamsudinov wanted to be in these positions, wants to wrestle in this fight. Wear out the legs and the hips of Cedric Doumbé, take away his striking power.
I'm impressed so far.
Whoa. Trying to create space, but beautiful takedown by Shamsudinov.
I've been impressed so far by Doumbe's grappling skills. Of course, they're almost entirely defensive, but he's able to create space very easily. Same again here with the butterfly hooks. Doumbé using those inside frames so he can control Baki's striking. I expect Doumbé to pop up to his feet any moment here. Maybe even tempt Baki with a back exposure to see if he'll chase that rear naked choke.
There he goes. Good job by Shamsudinov to hold on the leg, and there's a beautiful mat return.
Good work by Baki here, invested in those thighs.
He is so incredibly strong.
1 minute left in round number 1. All Baki in the wrestling so far. Keeping Cedric Doumbé on the defensive.
Really nice job there. Create space.
45 seconds to work. Back in the center of the smart cage.
I'd love to know what's going on inside the mind of Basigyor Shamsudinov right now.
Couple good jabs there by Baki.
I think Cedric's allowing him to throw those jabs, though. He's trying to build his confidence in the striking range so he can play there a little bit. That overhand right's coming in a moment. If Baki commits to that jab again, Doumbe's looping over the top.
There's a good jab by Doumbé.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1. Baki with another jab.
Super low stance for Doumbé, making that lead leg look very difficult to get to.
Big right hand at the end for Baki.
Good first round for Shamsudinov there.
Oh, what a first round. What a first round. So let's take a look at this takedown. A beautiful efficiency of Baki here. Sees the kick coming, grabs the leg and then drives himself over his opponent. Drives Doumbé to the canvas. Look at that leg catch. Nice twist there. Drives his opponent to the canvas, picks the leg up, but good work by Doumbé. Spinning out. Baki constantly trying to stay over on top of him though. Watch Doumbé peel out of the side here. This is lovely work. Heavy, heavy pressure by Baki, but the footwork of Doumbé up against the fence was impressive to me. One more time for Doumbé. Scrambles, Baki stays on the body lock. Up and down. Strong first round for Baki, but maybe a statement made for Doumbé.
Frérot, il n'y a pas de fatigue, on y va. Voilà.
Sean O'Connell, Stephen Struve, Dan Hardy. Cage side, inside the cage, our main event, Cedric Doumbé sold out this Acor building in 20 minutes or so against Baki Shamsudinov, who took round 1 with the grappling.
That right hand's coming over the top for Doumbé. I feel like he's tempting Baki to throw that jab, offering him a target so he can slip it. There it is again. Look at it.
Baki is, I think, faster than Doumbé might have at first anticipated with his strikes. Hasn't yet been able to uncork anything. John McCarthy, round number 1, very interesting. What do you think?
It definitely was. Baki absolutely won it, but you got to look at Doumbé. Go back to the very first kickboxing champion in MMA. Maurice Smith used a butterfly guard, took his time, was relaxed, and that's what I'm seeing out of Doumbé. So at 22 years of age, is Baki going to start to get frustrated when he can't hold him down?
Doumbé starting to show that uppercut.
That's a good left hook from Doumbé.
More with pressure now. Instead. Shot to the body. Quickness on display here from Shamsudinov as well.
Good discipline from Baki. A 22-year-old individual, undefeated, walking out into this crowd. He's managing himself and his emotions very well.
That time he threw the right hand. Cedric made him miss. But it's been all defense for Cedric mostly. Missed with the left. Good jab.
Doumbé is not throwing the leg kicks anymore. That's what got him.
Oh!
No, good job there.
Stumbled Baki. It looked like he was preparing the level change. There's a hook that lands for Cedric Doumbé.
And Doumbé has still not thrown that right hand over the top. And I think that's because he doesn't want Baki to know it's coming. I think he's being very, very patient here, drawing the jab. When Baki comes, he's going to slip and come over the top with that right hand. Great work with the lead hand from Doumbé so far. Jabs to the head, jabs to the body, shows the uppercut again.
Shamsudnov's wrestling has taken the legs of Cedric Doumbé out of the first portion of this second round. And you can see the comfort Cedric Doumbé has in the striking. He's willing to hang his head out there.
Oh!
There's another quick jab.
That was incredibly accurate considering Baki was level changing at the same time. Jab into the, oh!
Good level change again by Baki.
He's got a hold of the leg.
Can Doumbé stay on his feet? Here's the body lock from Baki.
He's got him down, he's got him on one knee. Doumbé's got an underhook on the left side. Good job there.
Warning from Mark Goddard, a quick cheeky fence grab there from Doumbé.
Doumbé staying relaxed here. Shamsudnov pressuring heavy, but not yet reaching down to the legs.
Got a hold of the wrist and breaks free.
Back to the center they go. This time Shamsudnov claims the real estate in the middle.
Oh, that was a good jab.
Shamsudnov caught Cedric Doumbé coming in.
Very interesting. Doumbé really struggling to get going with his striking here.
Baki's jab is lightning quick, and he's being very disciplined in not overcommitting to any of his strikes, exposing gaps and holes for Doumbé to take advantage of. There's another of those jabs.
Baki's being very patient, but he's not really scoring much. It's Doumbé with constant pressure, landing a jab now and then.
That jab is getting a little bit more meaningful for Baki. He has to be very careful. Oh,
there's the right hand.
Right hand, yeah.
The first one, and it landed. Shamsudnov shrugs it off. Incredible toughness.
He's walking him down more and more.
I think we're going to see that rear knee come in a moment. He's showing all kinds of center channel attacks, uppercuts and knees to try and discourage that level change. That doesn't mean he won't fire that when he sees the opportunity. 10 seconds to go.
Another right hand by Doumbé there.
Good head movement there from Baki. And another to finish. 2 rounds in the books.
Much better second round for Cedric Doumbé.
A very tough round to score because you saw Baki landing that jab consistently. I think the most significant strike of the round belonged to Cedric.
That right hand at the end of the round was very nicely timed. I think he's going to have to pick his pace up this next round, last round. You cannot be sure how this is going to go on the scorecards. You've got Baki with the level changes, with the instigate. Look at that beautiful timing on that jab. I feel like we might be 1 round apiece here. I don't think either of these guys could be sitting on their stool right now, confident that it's in the bag.
We're seeing very methodical forward movement from that lead leg of Cedric Doumbé. I don't know if it's injured or if that he wants to keep his feet planted in order to sprawl more effectively, in order to negate forward momentum from Baki more effectively. Very interesting, that low stance. Cedric Doumbé maybe loosening up here for round number 3. PFL Europe, Paris, opening the season, and this is your main event. Cedric Doumbé in the black, Baisengor Baki Shamsudanov in the green. Nice right hand after the hook, and a good sprawl, and now Doumbé swinging away. Confidence builder, shrugging off that takedown attempt from Baki.
Both guys are opening up in the third.
I believe this is the deciding round. 100%. It makes more sense than ever.
Incredible energy in the arena.
Little Bird told me Big John McCarthy's got this one around the piece. The right hand landed again for Doumbé. Shamsudanov, so tough, snaps his head right back around. He's been hit solidly by the kickboxing world champion many times.
What's going on here?
Cedric Doumbé indicating something wrong with his foot or toe.
Doumbé's gonna have to put his foot on the gas here.
The fight has been waved off!
What's going on?
Marc Goddard waves it off! Cedric Doumbé calling for attention to his foot. Speaking with Baki. An injury to the toe. A strange finish to this main event. I think there might be a sliver in Cedric Doumbé's toe.
Huh?
Second time? Yes. You know we can't do that. You can't call a timeout.
I understand what you say. But the second time, I didn't say I don't want to fight.
Cedric, you can't.
I understand, referee.
You did.
Referee, I understand what you say. I can't stop the fight. The first time you told me.
Yes.
The second time, he talked to you.
No, I told you to keep fighting, Cedric. He stood back and said, no, you can't. That's a TKO. Bro.
So you hear the case being made by Marc Goddard. Big John McCarthy, you heard, I'm sure, what Goddard was just explaining to Cedric Doumbé. You heard the case being made by Cedric. What's going on here?
What's going on is you had Cedric Doumbé say that he has something wrong with his foot. You can't call a timeout. Now, if something was done by an incident in the case it was a foul, Marc Goddard would call a time to it and take care of the problem. But when Cedric Doumbé says, oh, my foot, and then he tells him, no, fight on, and then he again goes back to he's got a problem with his foot, that's a self-inflicted injury or an injury that was caused by something fair in the fight. You're trying to call a timeout to gain something in that. Marc Goddard is completely right in this. It is a TKO victory for Baki.
Just an unbelievably unfortunate turn of events here in a main event that was just heating up in round number 3. Some confusion and a pause in the action from Cedric Doumbé. An apparent sliver, maybe a toe injury.
Looks like a steel
that
sliver.
close-up makes it look like there's a sliver in his toe.
Something from the cage, maybe? Talk about an anticlimax.
Told me twice, you can't stop the fight. You tried to stop the fight twice.
You can see he's favoring the foot, he's favoring the toe. Wincing at something. Marc Goddard says you can't stop the fight, there's no timeouts, fight on. Baki is questioning. A touch of the gloves. So Baki Shamsudinov looks to Mark Goddard and says he's not fighting, he doesn't want to fight. And Mark Goddard calls the fight on that. Controversial, to say the least. Big John McCarthy says it's the right call. This is going to be seen and evaluated in replay over and over and over again. A very, very unfortunate, anticlimactic result here in our main event. We'll make it official with Andy Shep.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a halt to the action at 1 minute and 21 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner via TKO by Shamsudinov.
La première fois, il m'a dit ouais, tu peux pas arrêter. J'ai dit ouais, d'accord. Et la deuxième fois, c'est pas qu'il m'a dit ouais, maintenant, tu vois, ah, mais je peux pas, j'ai dit. C'est pas vite, on obtient. Ouais, je sais. Et il voulait pas parler, c'est pas grave, on va.
You know, what we have right now, if you're looking, when you see Baki, he does back up, but when you see Cedric Dubois say, I have something wrong with my foot, there's nothing that's been done that's illegal, so he's going to have to fight through the injury. It's what we call self-inflicted. And then you see them start to go, and Baki stops like, hey, you don't want to fight. And Cedric again looks at Mark Goddard and points to his foot, illustrating that he has an injury to his foot. Once that's done, Mark Goddard has got to call the fight. The fight is over. It is a technical knockout victory for Baki based upon what we call a self-inflicted injury.
All right, let's get this over to Sean.
I'm here with Cedric Doumbé. We'll get to the winner, Baki Shamsudinov, in just a moment. Cedric, explain for me, if you will, first in English, then in French, if you don't mind, what just happened in your view?
Une épine. Un bout de verre. Comment tu dis une épine? Une épine dans le pied. Une épine dans le pied. Un bout de verre dans le pied. Un bout de verre.
Glass, he felt like a glass in his feet.
Non, dis-moi juste le terme, un bout de glace.
A sliver, you have glass in your foot?
In English first? First of all, thank you for everyone to watch the fight. Attendez. Laissez-moi expliquer en anglais d'abord, après on va parler français. So, I didn't want to stop the fight, and, not at all. I wanted to fight, of course, as everybody saw, but I have like a small, I still have, because I don't want to remove it. I don't want people to say I'm a liar. I have a small glass on my foot. I don't know, inside the cage, so it's hurting me. I just want to remove it and keep going. So the referee told me, you can't stop. I say, okay. I wanted to fight, and then my opponent, he's looking at me. He's saying that something is annoying me. He said, just remove it. And then we stopped both together, looking at the referee, and then he stopped the fight. It's not his fault, of course. That's not his fault. That's just the referee's fault. But you know, it is what it is. I don't even know what to say. You know, I still have the thing on my toes. I really don't know what to say. You know, I wanted to fight. I don't understand.
Expliquer en français du coup à la.
Bon, d'abord, merci à tout le monde d'être là. Franchement, public de malade mental. Franchement, je me mets à votre place. Je suis dégoûté. Je voulais voir un combat de malade mental, pas un combat qui s'arrête comme ça. Première chose, c'est pas de sa faute. Faites du bruit pour Baki, c'est pas de sa faute du tout. Lui, il est venu pour en découdre. Donc si on doit mêler quelqu'un, c'est pas lui, c'est l'arbitre. Non. non, je rigole. Alors je vais expliquer, en fait, on était en train de combattre et j'ai senti qu'il y avait un bout de verre ou un bout de bois, j'arrive pas à voir ce que c'est. C'est un bout de verre dans mon orteil, mon pouce gauche, et ça me gênait. Du coup, j'ai dit à l'arbitre, il me dit qu'on peut pas arrêter le combat. Je dis ok, Je continue, mais je sens qu'il y a un bout de verre en fait. Du coup, je le dis à Baki, je dis frérot, il y a un truc qui me gêne. Il me dit, bon enlève-le. Je dis, bah ouais, je vais l'enlever. Et là, l'arbitre, il arrête. J'ai rien compris, franchement, je sais même pas quoi vous dire. L'arbitre, il a arrêté, il me dit, tu peux pas arrêter le combat. Je lui ai expliqué. Je lui ai dit, mais j'ai pas arrêté le combat, c'est l'arbitre. Je comprends pas, tu vois.
Before we let you go, Cedric, clearly this is not settled. This is not the climax, this is not the finish anybody wanted. Do you want to run it back? Would you like to fight Baki again?
Bon, là, il vient de me parler français avec sa cravate. En vrai, la question, je me la pose pas à moi. Est-ce que vous voulez voir le fight encore? Et je pense que Baki, il veut pas le refaire, il veut le faire. Parce que là, le fight, il s'est pas fait. Est-ce que tu es d'accord? Je sais pas. Donc, of course, bien sûr que je veux faire le combat. Je vous jure, hein, là, je parle avec l'émotion et tout. Je vous jure, je ne comprends pas ce qui se passe. Je ne sais pas pourquoi l'arbitre a arrêté le combat. Je ne comprends vraiment pas et je suis très déçu que ça se finisse comme ça. Donc, bien sûr, je veux refaire le combat. Je veux faire le combat. Of course, I want to fight.
Thank you, Cedric. Baki, please. Baki, you won the first round with your wrestling. Your jab was looking good. And then the fight gets called off because of a strange situation, an injury, something in Cedric's foot. How are you feeling right now? It's a win for you, but this is not how you wanted to win.
Comment vous vous sentez? Évidemment, vous l'emportez, mais bon, c'est évidemment pas la façon dont vous vouliez gagner ce soir.
Je vais répondre en français parce que mon anglais n'est pas encore bien amélioré, je vais travailler dessus. Tout d'abord, je tiens à remercier toute la salle. Merci d'être venu pour ce combat exceptionnel.
We'd like to thank first the crowd for coming for this exceptional event, and he's going to work on his English soon, but yeah, he's going to answer in French.
Ensuite, j'aimerais aussi dire mes félicitations à Cédric. Il faut savoir que Cédric, c'est une légende de son sport dans le kickboxing. Donc franchement, c'était un honneur pour moi de l'affronter. Et comme vous l'avez dit, c'est pas la manière que je voulais gagner. Après, malheureusement, un combat pour moi, je le vois comme le champ de bataille. Une blessure et les choses imprévues font partie du combat, même si ça reste sportif. Maintenant, j'ai vu que mon adversaire... Ah non, je vais laisser poser les questions d'abord.
I'm going to translate what you said. So, of course, a lot of respect for Cedric. This is not the way he wanted to win. He's a legend, a kickboxing legend, so this is definitely not the way he wanted to win. And yeah, he'd like to thank the whole crowd for coming tonight.
So, Baki, can we see it again? Baki, do you want to fight Cedric again and settle it for real?
Est-ce que tu veux encore le combattre, évidemment?
Alors, il faut savoir que ce combat, je l'ai accepté car c'était une très belle opportunité dans ma carrière. Beaucoup plus pour l'aspect légende à affronter que pour l'argent gagné. Je suis prêt à faire une revanche, mais bien sûr, il faudra aligner les billets. Je sais que le PFL, vous avez les moyens. Faites en sorte que ce combat se refasse dans une salle encore plus grande. Ici, c'est petit, je pensais que c'était plus grand. J'espérais voir beaucoup plus loin. Je pensais que j'allais même pas voir l'autre bout de la salle. Franchement, si j'étais trop à l'aise, j'aimerais avoir un peu de pression. Donc, si possible, on pourrait le refaire en plus grand.
He said, of course, he would like to beat him again, but in a bigger stadium and with more money. He knows that PFL has a lot of money, so yeah, with more money, he'll definitely come back. And a bigger stadium because he didn't have a lot of pressure tonight.
The sold-out Acor, not enough pressure for Baki. I hope we see this again. Thank you, merci. One last word.
Bon les amis, j'espère que vous avez kiffé. On a montré la beauté de ce sport. Il n'y a pas d'animosité entre nous. Oui, on est toujours rival. Parce que je dois tenir ma promesse, je dois l'éteindre. Donc le combat, on va le faire si ça se fait. Mais juste, on voulait vous dire un truc. Tous les deux, tout ça c'est n'importe quoi. Vous savez, la chose la plus importante en ce moment, elle arrive dans quelques jours. Et Inch'Allah, ça va bien se passer. Donc grosse force à tous les musulmans. Et on est des frères. On est des frères avant tout. Et tout ça, c'est que du sport. I just want to say thank you for everyone to watch the fight. We still rival. We want to do this fight again. I made a promise. I will knock him out. I have to Mark to back it up. He's a good guy. The most important is that we are brothers in Islam. We are Muslim, and the most important thing is coming is Ramadan. So I want to thank all the Muslims and also all the other people. Merci à tout le monde, les musulmans comme les non-musulmans. Et c'est que du sport.
Thank you both. I hope we see it again, and I hope we see it again soon. Merci, Paris. Good night.
All right, takedown of the night. Let's have a look at this. We had some good options, I tell you what was selected. Here we go. Pasea, beautiful hip throw here by Habirora. From the clinch, you can see Pasea driving in. Habirora throws that leg across, beautiful. Nice judo for mixed martial arts. Sees his opponent pull his leg back. There we go, takedown of the night, brought to you by Takedown Apparel. You've seen that kit on all of the fighters and the corner teams. Take my word from it, it's fantastic equipment. Make sure you get yourself some shorts, some t-shirts, and all that good stuff. Takedown Apparel.
An incredible night in Paris as we launched our European season for 2024. Our brackets are set. We had multiple big-time finishes on the card tonight. The largest event in mixed martial arts history here in this beautiful country of France. A great appreciation to the fighters, the crew here, everybody who came out tonight, all of you watching at home. I hope we see that main event again. For Leslie Boitrel and Andy Shepard, Stefan Struve, Dan Hardy, I am Sean O'Connell. Thank you very much to Paris. Thank you very much to all of our PFL fans. We'll see you in Belfast for Bellator.